ironic when you think about it. Love of self, love of the world, love of man, love of another, romantic love, philos, storge, agape, eros. When they tell you I think maybe it's actually safest to love the world. And then least safe, just kind of technically speaking, in terms of like safety in the sense of like how dangerous, you know, what are likely results, what are probable results, like how cautious should you be, how selective should you be, you know, just strategically. Romantic, total bonded, like, you know, romantic pair bondy type love is the least safe. So it's like the opposite. That, I don't know. I think maybe it's kind of ironic. Like, my impression is that our culture tells you that the thing you should be like the most into in your life and try and practice the most often and make your life about is like romantic, pair bondy, obsessive, one person love, and that it's not safe to love the world. Like, this goes back to like Judeo-Christian stuff, maybe. It may even go back to before that. I don't know. I strongly suspect it actually does, that the sentiment of not loving the world, at least, is something that had been present in our culture probably for millennia before Judeo-Christian roots even took root. Basically because, like, our lifestyle does not honor the world, so in order to keep living it, we had to develop a philosophy of not loving the world. Something like that, in order to kind of keep domineering it. But anyway, that's just going back to the origins of civilization, and it's all super speculative. But in terms of like what's safe now, I feel like it actually goes in almost the exact opposite order of what we're taught. It's like in exact reverse order. Like, the safest love is just a general, and thank God we are being taught this more now. Like, but yeah, so it's the safest love is like a general love of the world, and then maybe the next safest love is like a general love of your fellow man, and then maybe the next safest love is like the love of your like tribe mates, and then family, and then like literally the most technically dangerous love that you should be the most selective and careful about, and probably have practiced the least. It's the most high level thing. Like, you should have mastered everything else first. You know, like the opposite of me. Like, I other than some family love, I had already had many romantic relationships, had fallen in love in high school, and am just now, as an old guy who like isn't nearly as neuroplastic, trying to learn how to love the world and love my fellow man and love my tribe. And I think there's a lot of signs of an of a very baby level love of the tribe. You see this emergent like tribalism that's coming up right now, and has maybe come up, you know, many, many times. You know, maybe it's nothing new. Maybe we were almost as divided in the Bush era. I don't know, you know, it's really hard to find an objective perspective on that. You know, maybe Google some Chomsky, because he usually has a ridiculously objective perspective. It's almost inhuman. But yeah, it's a kind of infantile tribalism in the sense that it is very like, my tribe, right, wrong. But are you with us or against us? Then you're bad. If you're against us, you're against us. You are trying to destroy me. You're denying my existence. You're trying to bring America down. I mean, everything I just said, I'm pretty sure applies totally equally to both sides. I mean, it's not like Trump with his whole, like, both sides. It's like, okay. He was, yeah. Yeah, no, right? There's no comparison between what the idiots on the left are doing and driving your car into a crowd. Like, even the most ridiculous Antifa antics of the last 3 or 4 years have, to my knowledge, never even come close to matching that. But in any case, yeah, so it's just like, whereas on the other hand, just to throw this out there, you know, a wise family raises their young to be extremely protective, their males and their females, of, and this is difficult to find balanced. We don't raise young men, we hardly raise young women to be particularly careful anymore, but we don't raise young men to be careful, I don't think, at all anymore. I think it's like a decades long, like, you know, just throw away your romantic love, your pair bonding function, just as soon as you can find someone or whatever or something. I mean, at least there used to be, I mean, it's eroding, a tradition of raising at least young women, if not young women and young men, I think, to be extremely cautious, to teach your daughter to be like, okay, you're gonna let like one man into this psychological slot in your whole life. If you're lucky, you'll only, have to mess around with one. Totally pair bonded, you'll only get married once and you won't. And I think that's just gone, maybe. And yeah, so. And then do we raise our young to be particularly loving of the world and family? God, a lot of that's just all going out the window. I don't like the way it was done. I don't like the authoritarian. I don't like it's your family, so you love them. But I really think we're throwing out the baby with the bathwater here.